no one ever talked about the fourth trimester. Let's get into it. Welcome to a new video. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and thank you for stopping by. And if you've been around the block a couple of times, hey girl, art guy, thank you for stopping by again. Today I'm going to be doing a postpartum vlog. Just going to bring you guys along with me for this Sunday and also give you guys some updates on how things are going. So this video is going to include my birth story. I think I'm going to finally tell my birth story because I've been trying to tell that story forever, but I just haven't came around to it. So I'll probably just throw it in this video. It's not nothing major or big. Well, the birth is always major, but nothing really. Show you guys a Target haul of what I got baby girl. Just, you know, gearing up for fall. Got her some few things. So I will show you that in this vlog. And also, of course, the fourth trimester. We'll talk about how postpartum has been going. Baby girl she will be 11 weeks tomorrow. And so she'll be 3 months on the 13th of August. So time is really flying by. So we're going to talk about that also. It's a stinker. We just got out of the bed. It is currently 8:32. So I'm about to give my 6-year-old some medicine. She did have surgery on Friday.
My two little sisters. At the time, I was 13. My two little sisters were 9 and 6. So around 6 p.m., my mom and her boyfriend leave. Me and my sisters just sit down and watch a movie, and then I get up to make them dinner. I compare her really easily, and while I was making them dinner, I looked out the kitchen window, and I thought I'd seen something.
So we've been switching off the children's Motrin and Tylenol every 4 hours because I mentioned she did have surgery. So I'm about to just give her this because she is feeling a little discomfort in her mouth right now. So I will just pick up the camera in just a second. Say good morning. Say good morning.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you...
Not sponsored or anything, but we really love this little nose thing from Frida Baby because my baby, she's not sick or anything, but she be having the biggest boogers in the morning. And yeah, we need to get all of that out. It's just something, I think the dryness in New Mexico, because I have the same problem when I first moved here for like a year. And even when I was pregnant, it was real bad. Like I wake up with such big boogers. Never had that issue in Washington, but in New Mexico, that is a issue. And my baby also has the issue. It's only in the morning when she first wake up. And then once we clean it out, we're good for the whole day. But she's fussing. I'll talk to you guys in just a second. All right, so I finally got a few minutes, hopefully, because like I mentioned, I've been wanting to do my birth story video, but I just have not had the time or energy to really go into my birth story. So I'm going to just put it into this video. But as you guys can see, Nyla is here. Almost 3 months later. Here we go, right? So what's so funny, you know how people always say, if you want a great laugh, make plans, right? So I had a scheduled C-section for May 10th. They told me that my C-section was going to be at 11 o'clock a.m. They told me to arrive at 9 a.m., 2 hours, check in 2 hours before the scheduled procedure, which I was totally fine with that whole night. I got everything together, got my 6-year-old together. I was happy that I didn't have to check in till 9 because they gave me enough time to take my daughter to school, get her all prepped up to go to my sister's house. And when I dropped her off, she was so excited, and I was like, guess what? When you get out of school today, TT gonna bring you to come see baby sister. Baby sister will be here. Baby sister will be here. So we were all just like, we just knew that May 10th, baby girl was coming. She was gonna be here no later than 2 o'clock because we had a scheduled C-section for 11. So if anything, usually C-section is only 30 minutes. But, you know, just in case they were running a little behind, I put that time and everything into the picture. So we dropped my 6-year-old off at school, and the hospital was on the same road. Just drive all the way down, but it's on the same road as her school. So we headed to the hospital. So we get to the hospital, and it's so funny because I feel like every time a nurse or someone came to see me, it was like I started to get more of the story of what was going on. So I get there a little bit before 9 o'clock, and the first person that like take your blood pressure and stuff, she was like, I'm gonna take your blood pressure. She's like, and your weight. She's like, but it's been so busy. It's been a crazy night. It's been a crazy night. We've been so busy. That's what the first person told me. So I'm like, okay, you know. So she was like, I'm not going to get you set up just yet. But I'm going to put you in a room. So she took me to like, you know, the triage room where you go. Okay. So that was the first, the first instance. So the second instance, the next nurse come in, the actual nurse, she comes in and she's like, how are you? I'm going to get you hooked up to the machine so we can monitor the baby. She was like, just bear with us. It's been a crazy night, and it's even a crazy morning. We have 3 emergency C-sections, and we have one lady that's in labor that's looked like she's heading towards a C-section. So I'm like, oh, sorry to hear that it's been, you know, really busy, whatever. So then she hooked me up to the monitor to monitor the, you know, contractions and stuff. So then the anesthesiologist came in. He was like, have anyone talked to you yet? And I'm like, not like about, you know, I'm confused. And he was like, well, we had 3 emergency C-sections this morning. And I'm like, yeah, I heard about that. And he was like, I don't know what time we're going to be able to do your C-section, because it was another person that was scheduled for 9 o'clock that we haven't even done hers yet. So he was like, it's probably going to be a long day. But I will update you as soon as I, you know, get more information, as soon as we know what's going on. He was like, but I'm going to have someone else come here, you know, to sign, you know, the iPad with, you know, the risk and all of this stuff, you know, the whole paperwork scenario. I'm like, okay. So then 20 minutes had go by, because, you know, you have the 20-minute stress test to check the baby contractions and all of that. So then my doctor came in, and then she finally was like, yeah, we are so full today. We had so many babies last night. We had all this going on, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to be able to do your C-section this morning. So we're going to send you home, and we will call you later tonight when it's going to happen. So she was like, just stay by the phone. Just make sure if you don't eat anything, because if you eat anything, you have to wait a whole nother 8 hours. So just keep that in mind. How many times I didn't eat for long periods of time. Keep that in mind. So she was like, so if you don't eat anything, because if you do, we'll have to wait another whole 8 hours for your C-section. So I'm like, no, I'm getting this baby out of me yes, baby, you're talking. But I was like, yes, I'm getting this baby out of me, so I won't eat. I'm going to go home. So by this time, it's maybe 11-ish. So by the time I get home, on Fridays, my daughter, she has, they get out early on Fridays. Every Friday they get out early. So when I got home and she got out of school, she was just so disappointed. She's like, she was actually like, where's baby sister? And I'm like, we haven't had her yet. So then she was really, really sad because the whole talk, my 6-year-old has never slept away from me. She has never, it was a lot geared up to her going to be somewhere for a weekend. I was sad, she was sad, but because she knew her baby sister was coming, she just toughed it out and was being a big girl. But once I came home on Friday and baby sister was not here, it kind of turned her whole mood around. So when I went back to the hospital, she was sad, she was crying. It was everything. So we're going to get into that. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So I'm at my sister's house because I'm like, I'm just going to stay here until they call, whatever, spend time with my 6-year-old because, I didn't want to go back home and just do all that stuff because my sister lived a little bit closer to the hospital. So we there around 5 o'clock, and then I kept like, oh, I'm starving, but I'm going to have this C-section today. So at 5 o'clock, they called me. See the number, I get happy, and she's like, I'm sorry, I have bad news. She was like, everybody's deciding to have babies today, and since you're not having any contractions and blah, 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 we're going to have to reschedule your C-section. I have never heard of this. Like, I didn't know this was normal because I come from Ohio and then I lived in Washington for 10 years. I'm new to New Mexico, so I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I never heard of this before, right? So she was like, we're going to reschedule you. She was like, we're full. Like, the hospital is full. She was like, so we're going to reschedule you for Sunday. And that gives, the people enough time that just had babies. They will be probably leaving out Sunday. So she was like, so I'm going to schedule you for 8 o'clock Sunday, but be here at 6 a.m. So then I had to tell my daughter. And so she, of course, was sad more. So then Saturday night, like, I had such bad anxiety. I was just like, I don't know. I was just freaking out. Now, at first I was like, okay, I was up for it. But then once all this happened, I just started freaking out. I'm just like, things happen and maybe it's for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, right? So Saturday night, I'm just like, had the worst anxiety. I didn't sleep at all. And then I finally got up at like 4 o'clock and started getting showers, getting ready. We left out around 5 some, got there like 10 minutes before 6 o'clock. Same ordeal. Same ordeal. The lady come, my nurse like, oh, it was the same nurse that was there on Friday. And she was like, oh, it was the same nurse that was there on Friday. So she was like, oh, it's still been busy. It's been a busy weekend. Like, it was Mother's Day weekend. She's like, everybody's having babies. We are full. And when she said that, I was like, that was a sign that I was just like, my heart just literally sank because I just knew it was going to be some bull. I just knew it was going to be some BS, right? So they did the same thing. They put the monitor on me, check the baby, see if I was having contractions. I'm still not really having any real contractions. I did have little contractions here, but it would be like 1 or 2, and then it would go away for the rest of the day. So she's like, I'm going to put you in triage. She was like, I don't know what time you're going to have the baby, blah, blah, blah. So then doctor after doctor, nurse after nurse just kept coming in telling me how they're sorry. Like, they just don't have any room. They're super full. How many babies being born. But they was like, we promise we not going to forget about you. You are on our list. As soon as we can, we're going to do the surgery. As soon as we can, we're going to get the baby girl out. I'm like, whatever. So they don't know what time now. We're supposed to be at 8 o'clock. Now we don't know no time. So 11 o'clock come. 1 o'clock come. We there, like, literally, I'm not eating. Remember, I'm not eating because if I eat, I have to wait 8 hours. Now I don't know what time, but they're not letting me eat. And I'm just like, can I just get some ice? So they finally give me some ice water to drink, but I couldn't eat anything. I'm like literally starving. So time just going on. I'm just like, okay, once like 3 o'clock come, I'm like, this baby not coming, because usually they don't like to do surgeries in the evening. I already know that. So I'm like, I don't even know why they're playing this game. Like, this baby is not coming out today, like, unless she decides to come out on her own, and they ain't gonna have no choice. So I'm just like, now I have an attitude. I'm hangry. I'm disappointed. I already have real bad anxiety. So now I'm just like, I just want to sleep. Like, I literally just kept going to sleep. Remind you, I'm in the triage room. The bed is so uncomfortable. Like, it is the hardest bed ever. I'm just twist from one side to the other side, to the other side, to the other side. Like, miserable and hungry. So now my attitude was up here, now my attitude down here, but I'm still trying to be nice because it's not really their fault. You know, things happen. I understand that things happen, stuff is out of our control, but I'm just mad. I'm like, I don't know why I chose this hospital. Like, I'm just going, you know, extra. So we just laid in the bed. I'm just mad, can't eat. And then, so finally, I'm like, I'm not getting my hopes up. So around 8 o'clock at night, the doctor came to see me. She's like, here's your options. Do you want to go home and just come back tomorrow morning? And I'm like, or you could stay here. I was like, I'm staying here. I'm not about to just keep leaving the hospital, going home, having to emotionally damage my 6-year-old again, and all of this. So the whole time in the hospital, the nurses knew I had a 6-year-old. She kept saying, like, have you talked to her? And I was like, I can't talk to her because I'm going to start crying. She's going to start crying. So, but once like 8 o'clock came and they told me that we wasn't going to have the C-section, I was like, let me call her. I called my daughter. She's like, Mommy, how, asking about the baby. How am I doing? And I told her again, like, we didn't have the baby, but when we FaceTiming, but she's a trooper. Like, she tries her hardest to be like a big girl, so she's trying not to cry. But as a mama, like, your baby when her eyes are watery and she's trying not to let a tear fall, but her eyes is literally full of tears. So I'm like, baby, don't cry. And she's like, I'm not, Mommy. I'm not, Mommy. So I just feel so bad. So literally, I hung up the phone with her. I turned around and I started boo-hooing. I went to sleep because I was so mad. I was so mad. I didn't want to eat. He's like, you want me to go get you something to eat? And I'm like, no, I just want to go to sleep. I was so mad. I couldn't even eat after being hungry. Like, I couldn't even eat. I was just mad and sad. And like I said, it was hard for me too, because I have never been away from my 6-year-old either. So it was hard for both of us. So I went to sleep. And then that morning, it was funny because that night I was just like, you know what? They didn't have no room. They didn't have any rooms to put us. So that's why, like, they were really trying to take their time because they had so many babies. Like, it was overflow. Like, we were in the women's specialty area. That's where I ended up having to go for recovery because it was no room on the maternity wing. So I was like, it got to the point where I was like, I don't care where y'all put me. Y'all could put me on the crazy floor. Like, long as I got my meds, like, y'all could put me on the crazy floor. I don't care. Like, I was joking, but like, I was serious. Like, y'all could put me anywhere in this hospital. I don't care. As long as I have my medicine and my baby. But so then the next morning, they were very more cheerful. They were very more happy. They like, we're getting the baby out today. No matter what, you're having this baby today. And I'm just like, now I don't have any hope. I'm just like, I'm not getting my hopes up because the last few times I got my hopes up, we did not have a baby. So until the anesthesiast put the needle in my back, I'm not getting my hopes up. So they were like, they kept saying like, we're having a baby today. They all excited. They, getting me prepped. They finally put the IV in me. So, we doing everything. So they like, we just don't know what time yet. They like, we don't know what time, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm like, I'm just very low energy, very low mood, everything. I'm not happy because this has been a shit show and I just don't know what to expect now. So 12 o'clock, they were like, we promise you're next, you're next, you're next. They're like, we're doing a C-section right now. As soon as they done, they clean up, you're going to be the next person. So I'm like, okay, we will see. Y'all said this before. So then finally, like 2 something, they were like, you're having a baby. So now the anesthesia's coming in. Now he's talking to me. Now I'm like getting a little bit more confident, like it's going to happen. But that time, it did happen. Baby girl was born Monday, May 13th, the day after Mother's Day at 3:15 p.m. She finally entered the world, and she was 7 pounds, 1 ounce, and 19.25 inches long. Once they actually did my C-section, the C-section went perfect. Like, it was quick, it was easy, very, very minimum recovery. Like, I was so surprised with my first baby. It felt like it took me longer to recover. I don't know, it's because I didn't know what to expect with my first baby, but with her, like, I knew what to expect. So I was on my feet early. Like, the same day I was able to stand up. Once I was able to move around, I went to the bathroom. Like, everything was just quicker. I wasn't in much pain. Like, so once the C-section happened, it went great. But I just never knew that I was going to have like this crazy story, because I thought, I was like, I'm having a scheduled C-section, like point, dry, right? Straight to the point, boom, boom, baby here. But it was not that way. And I wasn't expecting that because of the scheduled C-section. But we stayed in the hospital Monday night and then Tuesday night. And then Wednesday morning, I left. They were like, do you want to stay an extra day? And I was like, no. This has been a long, drawn out process. Like, I am ready to go home. I miss my baby. My 6-year-old did come to the hospital to see me. She came Tuesday morning. She came to see me and stayed there. I told her, my sister, like, you don't have to take her to school. Like, bring my baby to the hospital. I need my oldest baby. And we just, like, laid in the bed, watched TV a little bit. But, of course, when she had to leave, she, like, broke mommy's heart, too. But I was like, mommy's home. And to this day, she always be like, Mom, you left me at TT house for 5 days. You left me at TT. I'm like, girl, a couple of those days I was at TT house with you. But it's just funny. And it's like, it gave her my youngest birth story a little twist. So now we actually have, a fun story to tell. But that was my birth story, and I will talk to you guys in just a second. My 6-year-old is the sweetest. She's like, Mommy, look by your chair. Look what I got you. She poured me some juice and gave me some apple slices. We went to Target yesterday. So, had baby girl in her swing real quick. She usually gives me about 10 minutes in the swing. So, we're going to make this quick as we can. But I went to Target yesterday, got baby girl some clothes, wanted to stock up on some more fall things. And my Chunka, she's getting to be a big girl. She's a big girl. At her 2-month appointment, she was almost 13 pounds. She was 12 pounds and 6 ounces. So that was like, what, 2-3 weeks ago. So I know she's even bigger than that now. But my 6-year-old, she's been going back to school in another week. We did a lot of back to school shopping. Make sure you go check out my back to school haul. And also subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed. But now that I got school things all out the way, I was like, I have to go get baby girl some stuff. What is it, baby? Thank you. So I set myself an $80 budget, and I'm gonna tell you if we stayed on budget or not, or you let me know if we stayed on budget or not. So it's only a few items, just a few. So first thing is this little jean jacket. How cute. And I got this jean jacket in a 6 to 9 months. So some things I got 6 to 9 months, some things I got 3 to 6 months. I got her this little outfit. It just says "Falling for You." How cute, how cute, how cute is that? And I got this in a 3 to 6 months because it just looked extra long. Like maybe because my daughter is kind of short. She just stalky and chunky up, but she's not as tall. She's 22 inches, so, but she don't look as tall. Also got her this little cute little outfit, and it's like this little sweater, and these little leggings is like this little ribbed effect. And like, look at the collar, and it's purple. I thought it was so cute. I got this in a 6 to 9 months. She's currently just now like 3 to 6 months. She's in 3 to 6 months right now. Next, I got her this little outfit with these little hearts. This I got in a size 3 to 6 months. Again, I just feel like the pants and stuff, you know, it's long, so they probably will be like covering her feet, but she's chunky, so we have to get bigger size. I also got her this little sleep sack, and I got this in a 3 to 6 months. And this is just the Carter's brand. The other stuff was Cat and Jack, but this is Carter's brand. And then for Halloween, I got this in a size 6 months, but I got her this little outfit, and it was $10 with the little hat. They had a lot of cute little Halloween and pumpkin pajamas out now, so if that's your thing, you know, go get it. And I like that these are also footed. So that's what I got, and that is everything I got out of Target, and my total came up to $75, but $2.39 of that was a Coke, me something to drink. So really we only spent like $73. So I did stay under budget, sort of. And the reason why I say that I stayed on budget, sorta, is because I did go to Walmart, but hear me out. I didn't really spend a lot of money at Walmart. I only got her 2 things at Walmart. Because I had to go there to get my oldest, some soup, because again, she did have surgery, so she needed some soup. But anyways, this is what I got out of Walmart. This is also the Carter's brand. This was $11. And this was just a 2-way zipper 2-pack. And I just love the little print. So I got her these little footed pajamas, and these are 3 to 6 months. And I also got her this because Walmart had it on clearance, and it was on clearance for like $3. And it's usually, I think, $7 or something like that. But it's just from the Itsy Ritsy brand, and it's an Itsy Pop for 3 months plus. It's just a silicone teether with some little poppers, because she does like to chew on her hand a lot lately, like the last week or two. So I was like just trying to get her some little chewing toys. But anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that quick little haul. Guess what, Leanne? I didn't know you snuck these Band-Aids in there. I just now noticed that my oldest put some Band-Aids in the cart, and I didn't even notice it when we were in the store. Okay. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So I have these bottles that I need to clean and sterilize. And I gotta take this milk out the freezer to unthaw to make bottles, because your girl goes back to work. I have to go to work tomorrow. And it's so sad. But speaking of that, let's go talk postpartum. So my 12 weeks of maternity leave has ended. I do have to go to work. This is going to be my first full week back. I did go back last week, but I only worked 2 days because I went back and then my daughter had surgery. Well, she was supposed to have surgery. You guys are seeing this, like, coincidence that keeps happening here in New Mexico. She was supposed to have surgery on Wednesday, so I took off. I went back Tuesday, took off Wednesday because she was supposed to have surgery, but her surgery got rescheduled for Friday. So this is going to be my first full week back, and it's just crazy how, we're not going to get into all of that, but I just do wish we had more time to stay at home and bond with our babies. And a lot of people would say, you can do that, you can stay home with your baby, but that's to stay home without getting paid. Like, I won't wish that our system was better where it gave moms and even fathers more time with their young ones, and still be able to get paid. We're supposed to be one of like the greatest countries, but it's so many countries that get so much time home with their babies. Some countries, they get a whole year of maternity leave to bond with their babies. But last week I had so much anxiety because I was going back to work. My 6-year-old was having surgery. It was just a lot. I cried so much. Even on my first day of work, like, everybody was like, welcome back, congratulations on the baby, blah blah blah. But like, the first 3 to 4 people that asked me how was the baby, I literally would be in my office boo-hooing. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, I was okay, and I knew she was okay, and I feel a lot better because she is home with family. So it's not like she's going to daycare or anything like that. So that makes me feel way better. She's with my sister or my mother. So that makes me feel better to enter the workforce again. But I just feel like it sucks as a woman, as a mom who try to also make money, who also wants to have kids in their career, and all of that things. I just wish we had a little bit more, support. But let's talk about postpartum, the 4th trimester. We always talk about first trimester, second, having the baby. But once the baby's here, it's like everything else just like kind of go out the window. But that's still a trimester. It's still a process. You're learning a new baby. Your baby is learning you. They're out in the real world with you now and not in your stomach. So just readjusting. No one talks about how adjusting to a new baby can be hard. It can be hard on your self-care, your self-worth. It can be hard on your relationships, your marriages, even your other kids. So learning how to prioritize everyone in your life, learning how to juggle all of that, and just getting, settled and things like that can be hard. Like I said, you have other kids, or if you don't have other kids, your husband, your wife, or whoever, like, just trying to find that balance, going back to work, just trying to find that balance can be really, really triggering. But it does take time, and sometimes I feel like you might not ever get it right. You just learn how to cope and learn how to continue on, and you find better ways to make your life easier. Schedule. Having a schedule also makes things a little bit better. But those first couple of months is so hard. It's so hard to stick to a schedule. You don't ever want to like beat yourself up about a schedule, because every day can be different. You know, one day you feel like you got it all together. The next day you realize you don't have anything together. Your life is falling apart. One day your baby might sleep perfectly. The next day we back to square one. So it's gonna be a real challenge. Especially if you throw breastfeeding in the mix, you know, your baby is dependent on you to feed them. That can be mentally draining. Your baby wants to be latched to you 24/7. Like, that literally can be mentally, physically draining all through the day, all through the night. Speaking of night feedings and things like that, or even night sleep, I'm kind of used to not having much rest. I actually thrive. I can thrive. And I have learned and mastered not sleeping well, which is bad for your health, probably in the long term. But I have, you know, the military has already set me up for that, the no sleep, right? My oldest, she took 3 years to learn how to sleep throughout the whole night, and she still have some moments where she doesn't, but it's just not often like it used to be. So of course, baby girl, she's her own person, but she doesn't sleep through the night. For the longest, she was waking up 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 5 a.m., and then she would sleep to about 8:30. But last night was the first night where she didn't wake up at 12. She stayed asleep till almost 3 o'clock. She woke up at 3, and then she woke up at 6, and then we was up at like, 7:30 or 8, I forgot. One of those times. But that was last night. Now, is that going to be her new schedule? Maybe she's learning to sleep till almost 3 in the morning, or we might go back to waking up every 2 hours. Like, who knows? You never know with a baby that's so unpredictable. So just like, I have learned how to just go with the flow, but I have also learned just having some type of schedule, it does make the days better. Now, I'm not a strict schedule girl, but like kind of like staying in the same area. Like, I know she's gonna have a morning nap. I know, you know, some things have to be routine, you know, especially with going back into the workforce. It just makes our life a little bit easier trying to stick to a little schedule, not very strictly. But anyways, I just really wanted to like just talk about that, because you can really put yourself in a real bad funk when all of that is going on in the 4th trimester. Like, your body has changed, your hair has changed. Like, I literally have postpartum hair loss. Like, I always lose my edges. Like, I don't know why, but that's one of the things. Like, my edges come out. So like right now only this side. Last time, like, both sides were all gone. The edges were all gone. But right now, like, I have no edges right here. So a couple things else I want to talk about in this postpartum vlog is items that I did not use that I thought I was going to use. One is, I still have this. I never used my Freedom Mom C-section recovery band. Like, it never got open. And as I mentioned, like, my recovery this time was so different. Like, I really did not need it. Like, I was sore when I first came home, but just a little soreness. It was nothing major, and I was totally fine.
Hi.
You wanted to say hi?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, recovery was totally different. Did not need it. Another thing, I'm not going to cross it off my list yet, but my Bobby pillow. As you can see, it is still in the bag. I have not used it. I'm not going to say I'm not going to use it. I'm keeping it just in case, because I probably will use it more as she gets a little couple months, like maybe for her to play. She does have like this other little boppy that you probably seen in my videos. It's not a boppy pillow, but it's made like a boppy pillow. It's a lot smaller, but she sits up on it and it has like the little toys around it. So she does sit in that, and I'm probably going to use this as something she can sit in because I did send the other one to my sister's house. So instead of bringing it back and forth, we'll probably keep this one here and keep that one over there. But yeah, I have not used that for breastfeeding. Maybe I have breastfed before with my oldest for lots of years, for 3.5 years. So it's easy for me to just throw the boobs in her mouth at night, in a day. Like it's just like I never really felt like, let me go in the room, grab the boppy pillow, let me put it around me, sit it. Like it's not uncomfortable. If it was uncomfortable for me to just breastfeed her this way, I probably would, but it's not. It's not uncomfortable, so I never had a real need to do that. So that is one thing. Another thing I have not used in this 4th trimester. Also, baby mittens. We have not used much of, where you found the sleep stinker? We have not used the baby mittens. A lot of her like sleepers come with the built-in mittens, so you could use those. And I think we did like maybe like the first 3 or 4 days she came home, we just used the mittens that were built in the sleepers. But all the extra mittens I bought, we never put these on. And as she gets older, I just feel like part of development is kind of exploring your hands, finding your face, and just finding how to open and close your hands. So I kind of just feel like for development reasons, this time around, I made the decision not to put the mittens on her. Have she scratched her face? Yes, but really she only scratched her face like once, and that's recently. And I think more so because I have went back to work, and she probably was more upset because she wanted boobies and she, you know, had to get a bottle. But that has been the only time she actually really scratched her face, like where it left a little mark. We usually keep her face greased up because she has dry skin, so she usually has a greasy face, so she doesn't really scratch it much. But anyways, that's all this video is gonna include. I just wanted to just sit down and have a chat with you guys. So this was more of a chatty vlog, but I hope you guys still did enjoy it. So if you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. And we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.